Heaven Hell, you just put out the Neon Nights live in Europe. Was that recorded at the Wacken Open Air Festival?
Yeah, that was at the Wacken Festival, and we headlined that festival, and it was a great night. It was just a perfect night to record the way we did. You know, everything fell into place. Band played great. Ronnie sang his ass off, and we're really, really happy with the results and the final product.
So how was it headlining that festival and performing in front of all those people?
Well, you know, we've done it before. We've done it in different bands too, but it's nice to go out. And that was, you know, that was a lot. I don't know, 50, 60,000 people. It was huge, and it's nice to go out, and it feels good. You know, sometimes you go out on stage and it's just not right, even though you play good, or it doesn't feel quite right. You know, it's like your mojo's not lined up. Well, this was a night where everybody went out. We went out like a machine, and everything just flowed. There's nights that things flow, and then there's nights that it's a little bit more of a struggle. So this was just perfect. It was almost like it was meant to be. So that's why we're all happy with it.
Why do you think songs like, Mob Rules, Children of the Sea, Heaven and Hell, why do you think those stand the test of time? They're like 30 years old, and, not many bands can do that, go out and play songs 30 years old. What do you think it is about these songs?
Well, I think, you know, when they were written at the time, it just was the right way to do it. I don't know. The songs just, you know, came out the right way, you know, and they're good songs. Good songs like Beatles stuff, it lasts a long time. It doesn't get outdated with the music industry changing, you know, that those songs remain the same as all the music changes around it, but yet you play them now and they're still got that vibe. There's still an attitude to it, you know. We weren't, this band was never trying to be a trend, so we were always what we were, and we played what we felt from our soul. And I think that's what stands the time, you know, when you try to be current and go, well, let's sound like the things that are happening now. You know, that's cool, but then it probably, in the long term, in time, doesn't sound as classic as it would if you do what you believe in and what's in your heart.
So you guys all met whenever you and Dio joined Black Sabbath back in, I believe it was 1980, is that right?
Yeah, well, Ronnie was in the band first. You know, Ronnie joined in '79, and then they went ahead and started writing, and then Bill Ward was involved, and then they made the Heaven and Hell album. And I joined in 1980. I think Ronnie might have even started working with them in '78. I'm not quite sure of the date, but I came in the middle of 1980.
And you and Ronnie James Dio left Black Sabbath to form the band Dio. Could you tell us a little, maybe why you left the band?
Well, we were on tour. We did the Mob Rules. I mean, we did the Heaven and Hell tour, and then we finished, and we took time off. Then we recorded the Mob Rules album. Then we did a long tour with that, and then it was just people who weren't seeing eye to eye, you know. And it wasn't me, you know. I was just the guy in the band, but you know, they weren't getting along. There was some problems, mainly business problems, not so much personal problems, and not so much musical problems. So, you know, it got to the point where, okay, you know, it's not going to work anymore. So Ronnie said he was leaving. He's going to do a solo record, and he asked me if I wanted to play on it. I said, okay. So I chose to stay with Ronnie, and then we put together a deal and went from there.
So were there any hardships, starting out a new band like that? Any obstacles you had to overcome?
Well, you know, it wasn't like we were starting like a brand new band. It was, you know, Ronnie as the singer, so we were on a level already, just with Ronnie's name and then both of us coming out of SAP. So it was, we both felt we were both on the same page. We both felt the same hunger. We felt the same fire, and we just went ahead and did it, and you know, did what we felt we needed to do. But you know, there was a record deal in place already, so it was a little easier than just a band starting out.
And then you were in that until, what was it, 1987?
Yeah, about 87. Yeah, I played with Ronnie till 87. Then I left because the band changed. there were different people in the band. It was a whole different band, and I felt, well, maybe it's time for me to go try other things and pursue other things, and that's what I did. And then we wound up back together later on a couple of times, Pretty funny when you look at it.
So between that time, roughly the late 80s into like the mid 2000s, what were you out doing?
Well, I left Ronnie and played with Jeff Pilson in a band called War and Peace for a little bit, and then after that I played in a band called World War III with Jimmy Bain and Mandy Lyon, and did a lot of, took some time off to, and then after that was the call back, they were doing the Dehumanizer album with Black Sabbath, so I went back and we did that, yeah, and then after that, Ronnie and I continued with 2 albums as Dio again, so it kind of goes back and forth, back and forth.
And what was it, 2005, 2006, around that time, Heaven and Hell kind of got back together?
Yeah, 2006, they started getting back together, started writing, and Bill Ward was involved because, they were just doing the Ozfest things as Black Sabbath with the original band. So they worked with Bill, and then I got a call and asked if I wanted to do it, because things weren't working out together. So I said, yeah, let's do it. So I flew over, haven't seen the guys in about 5 years, and went over to Tony's house, and that's where we put it together. They had the songs written. I listened to them. I started working on them, and then I recorded The Devil Fried and Year in the Wall, and I forgot the other one. So, yeah, so we did that, and then we continued, So this is actually the longest the band has been together. Since 2006, we've been together. All the other times, I think we lasted about the most 2 years, So this is it's just a shame what happened with Ronnie, because we were planning on doing another album and continuing from there,
You guys did play a final show, is that correct, with some guest vocalists?
Yeah, we did. We did a show in July at London Victoria Park with Glenn Hughes singing, and this Jon from Landy, I think his name's Landy, from Norway, and he's got a great voice. Tries to. I'm not going to say he tries to sound like Ronnie, but he's got that attitude like Ronnie, and he did a great job doing these songs, and Glenn did a great job, and it was just really a great show, because it was one of the shows that was booked when Ronnie was alive that we were scheduled to do. We were scheduled to do a whole European tour, and then Ronnie got ill, and eventually the tour got canceled, and this was one of the shows that was in place. So the promoter thought it was a great idea. Well, what if you guys come over, and then we can donate the money to charity? So everybody thought it was a great idea, and we put it together. We went to Wales, a place where we rehearsed with Ronnie before and wrote Dehumanizer and rehearsed there, and we did a lot of stuff there. So it was almost like Ronnie was there. You can almost feel him there, So we worked there, and it's just odd, being there without him, when we started playing, especially the song Heaven and Hell. It's very kind of emotional, because that's kind of Ronnie's song. I think that's his anthem, and so it was kind of touching to play that and not see him there singing. It was somebody else singing, And it wasn't like he wasn't in the band anymore. That's different. He's just not here. So it was very emotional that way.
What do you, as a drummer, plan to do now?
Well, right now, I got a new band with Rex Brown from Pantera. He's playing bass. He was with Pantera and Down. And we call it right now Kill Devil Hill. We might change the name, I'm not sure, but we're just signed to management. And we're going to put out a record next year. We got all the songs written, and it's really cool stuff. Sounds like a Sabbath, Alice in Chains, Zeppelin combination, And I'm really happy about it and excited, and I love playing with Rex. That guy is just one badass bass player.
Just have one more thing, maybe a little bit of combination. If you just want to maybe speak briefly about the cancer charity that was set up in Dio's name, the Stand Up and Shout Cancer Fund, as well if you have anything to say to your fans out there.
Well, Wendy set that up, and it's a great thing, and she's working really. I know she's working really, really hard on creating events and different things, and just trying to make people aware of what Ronnie went through, and trying to raise money. And they've already helped a number of other musicians that needed help. So it's just such a great thing. The main message, and to all the fans, is Ronnie didn't go to the doctor. He hated the doctor. And he's had pains in the stomach for a long time, and he did go here and there, but the doctors, sometimes you got to be a little bit more proactive and aggressive, but he didn't go. And so her message is for people to go, especially men, and go get checked out, because you catch this stuff when it's early. Obviously, there's more chance that they can take care of it. Ronnie didn't. Ronnie went, and it was kind of, in an advanced stage, and it took him down, And then Ronnie's a strong person. He's one of the strongest people I've ever met and probably will ever meet. And, it's just shocking that this thing that you don't even see took this guy down, with a voice like that. So that's the message, Go take care of yourself, so you can listen to more rock loud.